Let's have fairness in pensions. Here's Jill. Like the majority of us, she works in the private sector. Jill earns about £30,000 a year. If she saved 10% of that over 42 years for her retirement, she'd be doing well. Yet, building up that pot of roughly £126,000 would provide a top-up to her state pension of just £4,800 a year. Here's Jack. Jack works as a civil servant in the public sector. Alongside much-loved doctors, teachers and police, there are hundreds of thousands of civil servants working in government up and down the land. Jack retires and ka-ching! He's granted between half and 2/3 of his average salary, increasing with inflation for the rest of his life. It's like magic. The thing is, half the story is hidden from you and me. If Jack retires on a career average of £30,000 a year salary, he could retire with a top-up of over £18,000 a year, with his feet up. That's hard to believe, I hear you thinking. You see, public sector pensions are totally different to a private sector pension. Jack has to contribute very little of the value of his pension pot. In the private sector, he'd have to save almost £500,000 to generate that £18,000 a year pension. And that's impossible for Jill. So who pays for Jack's pension? Well, you may be surprised to know that the government doesn't put the money aside either. It simply promises to pay Jack's pension in the future, from all of our taxes. So Jill and our children will have to pay Jack's pension for years to come, before saving for their own. Some claim the public sector deserves special treatment because they're paid less. But studies show that's not true. On average, they're paid slightly more for the same job. Their pension benefit is on top of that. Private business offering such big pensions would just go bankrupt. As a country, we've promised £1.7 trillion in pensions to public sector workers, and that number is growing fast. Despite money not being put aside, it's excluded from the official list of government liabilities. Why? Well, that would be admitting our national debt is twice the size. Can you imagine the reaction? It's not as if this system buys us better public services. With more and more civil servants retiring each year, more money is needed to pay their pensions. That's done by shrinking the current workforce and cutting services. This is a hidden problem that's out of control. Promises have been made that cannot be kept. We need to face it. Public servants should save for their pensions from their income like the rest of us.